2026 Nissan Leaf in motion on an open U.S. highway. Imagine a car that can go from everyday commuter to futuristic powerhouse with just one tap. A car that doesn't just update, it evolves every time you drive it. Today, we're looking at a model that's already shaking the industry before it even hits the streets. Some reviewers are calling it the boldest jump forward in its class. Nissan Leaf, parked on a modern suburban street. The car we're looking at today comes from a brand that's built its reputation on consistency. Never the flashiest, never the loudest, but always reliable enough to earn a loyal following. Close-up of 2026 Nissan Leaf front fascia. What makes this launch so interesting is who it's aimed at. It isn't just for the everyday commuter. And it isn't only chasing luxury buyers either. It's targeting that sweet spot in the U.S. market. Nissan Leaf side profile on a scenic U.S. highway. But the real question is whether this new direction actually delivers on the promise. Does it bring enough new features to stand out in an increasingly competitive segment? Interior of 2026 Nissan Leaf, driver side perspective. We're about to break down everything that matters. The design, the cabin experience, the tech, the driving feel, and of course, whether the value matches the buzz. And once you see what this car offers, and what it doesn't, you might be surprised at where it really stands in the crowd. Close-up of 2026 Nissan Leaf touchscreen and curved digital display. Now, as we start digging deeper into this new model, the first thing that stands out is the design. Nissan Leaf driving along a coastal U.S. highway. Move inside, and the feeling shifts again. The cabin has a modern, lounge-like vibe with soft-touch materials almost everywhere your hands naturally land. Nissan Leaf on a suburban road with highlighted lane assist sensors. But what truly defines this car is how it behaves once you're on the road. The base engine already offers a satisfying amount of torque for city driving. Nissan Leaf accelerating on an open U.S. freeway. Of course, it's not perfect. The rear visibility is still tighter than we'd like, and depending on the trim you choose, you might notice that some of the premium features are locked behind higher price tiers, taking a sharp curve on a mountain road. And here's where things get even more interesting. The safety suite has been upgraded with new sensors and smarter lane-keeping logic that finally feels natural instead of overly corrective. Interior shot of 2026 Nissan Leaf at speed, driver, and passenger visible. But even with all these improvements, the biggest surprise might actually be the pricing strategy and how it compares to the top rivals in its class. During the final real-world test, the car delivered a surprise that even the brand's most loyal fans didn't expect. The instant you push down on the accelerator, there's a clean, confident surge of power, no hesitation, no lag. Nissan Leaf impresses with sharp handling, stable steering, and a suspension that feels premium for its class, making it surprisingly agile and composed. Inside, the cabin is quieter, seats are snug, and upgraded driving aids work seamlessly, giving a more mature, capable feel. The Nissan Leaf confidently steps into the 2025 market with sharper design, an upgraded cabin, smoother tech, and a responsive powertrain, making it genuinely enjoyable for daily driving or weekend runs. Nissan Leaf, parked with a modern city skyline in the background at golden hour. So the real question now is simple. Is this the car that deserves a spot in your driveway, or is one of its closest rivals still the better match for your lifestyle? The answer depends on what you value most. But either way, this release just made the decision a lot more interesting.